Hi gang, I thought that as I've now managed to register iShowU, that I would do a better quality video about what's in my dock. And I'll show you the rest of my screen as well. Okay, so up here I've got my hard disk. I've got a 500 gigabyte MyBook Western Digital hard disk, which is used for archives. I've got my Mobile Me disk. This is my Time Machine disk, which is different from my archive disk because the archive ones aren't being backed up by Time Machine. Time Machine is just backing up what is currently on my MacBook's hard disk. A couple of folders there, and there a copy of iShowU. Going to the dock, there's the Finder, used for all Finder things, such as opening up files. There's some files. Close that down. Mail, which I use every day for normal things like email. I've got 3 emails, all going into mail. Then I've got Safari and Firefox together. I tend to use Safari most, but Firefox does come in handy sometimes. I've got an address book down here with all my contacts in, obviously. Pages, Numbers and Keynote, which are all part of Apple's iWork 08 suite. This is iTunes, used for my iPod. I've still not changed my mind. I'm still going to keep my 80 gigabyte last year's iPod for the moment anyway. I might get an iPhone next year, but that's when I can get out of my current contract because I'm not with O2. This is iCal, October the 1st today. Swift Publisher 2 for when Pages can't cope with what I need to do. Logic Express, which I use for recording. Now that I'm an Apple person and not a Windows person, I've moved over from Cakewalk. I find Logic Express a little bit difficult, but I'm gradually getting there. I'm gradually making better recordings with it. This is Encyclopedia Ultimate Reference Suite, Britannica, isn't it? Adobe Photoshop Elements, which is getting better as a program, although it still has, I think, some flaws in it. One day I'll buy Aperture or something like that. Time Machine and iSync, which I use for syncing up my Sony mobile phone. Chessmaster 9000, which is fantastic for when you want to be made a laughingstock of by not being able to beat a 7-year-old at chess. iShowU, which I'm using now to make this video. I've got my applications here. Open up my applications grid. I've got Microsoft Office on there as well as iWork 08. Well, to be fair, I've only got Word and Excel from there. Makes things slightly easier when I want to share things with work. Because I don't then get 2 copies of things, because Pages wants to save a copy and then you've got to export it into Word as well, so you end up with 2 copies of things. That's a pain in the neck. What else have I got in here that's not on my dock? Real Player, which I think is just for the BBC, I think, just for when you want to listen to something from the radio on the BBC. By the way, it's a pain that Channel 4 and ITV on demand things don't work with the Mac at the moment. I think that's just a copyright issue, I think. What else is here? QuickTime Player, obviously. This is photo recovery for the time. I bought it for the time when I accidentally reformatted my card and I had pictures on there, and it didn't do the job because it won't recover a reformatted card. Google Earth, Handbrake, which I need to investigate a bit more. Flip for Mac. iChat, I'm probably one of the few people that don't chat over the internet, probably because most of my friends are never online when I am. Calculator, Apple's own chess game, Comic Life. If anyone can tell me what Comic Life is, I'd be happy. Apple Script. And really, not a huge amount. Adobe Bridge, which I've never used. Adobe Bridge CS3. Adobe Help Viewer and Adobe Photoshop Element 6. Another problem that I have is with Photoshop Element 6. Every time I open it up, it tries to update it and then says it can't find the copy of Elements. So that's a pain in the neck. Onyx I've got down here. GarageBand, which I tend not to use because I've got Logic, but I use the instruments that are with GarageBand. Stickies, which I've never really seen the point for. Tiger Woods Golf 2005. This MacBook can't cope with anything more than that because of the graphic card limitations. And Norton Antivirus, which I was a bit of a nitwit when I first became an Apple user and bought an antivirus program, and I don't really need to, but I've got it on there anyway. And there we go, really. That's most of what's on my desktop and the applications that are on my computer. So thank you for watching, and if anyone's got any answers to any of these questions, then please leave a note in the comments. Thank you. Bye.